Mist. I am Reverend Rog, and with each story, I hope to transport you to the very soul of Nepal. Tonight, I share a chilling account, a personal ghost story passed down through generations, about a creature that lurks in the deep forests of Salyan. My grandfather, a government officer, was posted in Salyan district, a place of rugged beauty and deep, ancient forests. My grandmother, ever by his side, joined him, settling into the small headquarters town. Little more than a rural village perched atop a mountain, life was simple, challenging, and often solitary. It was the 1960s, a time when Nepal's remote districts truly felt remote. It was a creature, unlike anything she had ever seen, a short, chubby, dark-skinned woman. The creature wasn't just looking around, it was sensing her smell, a human smell. It had come out because of her. It lifted both of her feet into the air and began to gently float on the ground, like a feather gliding silently over the uneven terrain, still sniffing, still searching. She turned, her limbs screaming in protest, and made a desperate dash for the village. Tearing through bushes, snagging on thorns, tripping over stones, the villagers listened. Their faces grim, they confirmed her worst fears. The image of the floating, dark creature sensing her presence remained etched in her memory, a chilling reminder of the hidden dangers that lurk in the untouched wilderness of Nepal's mountains. Hadn't just missed the firewood spot, she had gone to mountains away to a place where, they whispered, the Lidini lives. Forest spirit, a dangerous entity known to lure and confront humans just as she had described. She ran until her lungs burned and her body was a mass of bruises. She had long, wild hair that hung in tangles, long, saggy breasts that swayed with her movements, and terrifying canine teeth that protruded from her mouth. A place where ancient spirits still roamed, drawn by the scent of human fear. Her entire body was covered in hair, and she was completely naked. One crisp morning, my grandmother awoke to a minor domestic crisis. She had run out of firewood. But that morning, my grandmother, lost in thought or perhaps taking a wrong turn, kept walking and walking. Her mind, trained by years of village life, immediately jumped to the most dangerous possibility, a tiger. Panic flared and she scrambled for cover, diving behind a cluster of thick rhododendron bushes, her heart pounding against her ribs. She had already walked for almost 2 hours, but the familiar spot was nowhere in sight. Exhaustion setting in, she decided to rest by a small spring bubbling out from a big, dark opening on the hillside. Grandfather, as usual, was already at the local school teaching. The village was quiet. It was harvest season and everyone had descended to the fields, leaving her alone. With a sigh, she took up her doko, a traditional Nepali basket carried on the back, and a small axe, and headed towards the forest. It was only her second time fetching wood. Her first had been in the company of other village women. The villagers had a designated area for cutting trees, usually about a half-hour walk away. As she sat sipping the cool water, a foul, unmistakable smell hit her. It was the stench of rotten meat, thick and cloying. Much to her shock, what emerged from the opening where the water flowed was not a tiger. The creature sniffed the air, its head turning slowly, eyes darting. It started taking deep, deliberate breaths. That's when my grandmother's blood ran cold. Then, the creature did something that stole her breath, that defied all logic and reason. My grandmother, despite her overwhelming terror, pulled herself together. This was not a dream. This was real, and she had to run. By the time she stumbled into the village, breathless and distraught, her terrified account poured out. My grandmother never went to fetch wood alone again. And so some tales are not just folklore, but a stark warning from those who have strayed too far into the wild heart of the mountains.